Today I want to talk about how I made over $25,000 a month with eBay. So it started in 2012 when I was trying to actually start a long time ago. When I was in high school actually. Maybe in 1999, I found a guy who somehow used to get shoes. He used to get Nikes and he had them way before they actually released. And people know me from high school know that Chris was the dude with the shoes. Like I always will pull up with some shoes that people only heard about, and then they would end up dropping like a year, 6 months or a year later. And I already wore them, a whole bunch of times. And I never revealed how I was doing that. So here it is how I was doing it. It was a guy, he lived in LA, and he was an Asian dude, and he used to get all the shoes early. I never asked how he got them. Me and him got cool. And I can't remember, he had a website too. And this is back when people were terribly afraid of the internet. I met him online. I can't remember the name of his website. I want to say Shoe Trends, but I know I'm making that up. I know that was probably just a real store. I'm making it up. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. So me and him, got cool, and his markup. Let's say if it was a pair of shoes that cost originally $140, he might charge me $170 for them, and I would pay that premium to have them first. So the way he was getting the shoes, the Asian dude, and now I understand is he used to just get them straight from the factory, in China. And for the record, I don't want to say that. I can say this. Nike doesn't own factories. There is no Nike factory except for the actual Nike factory store. They just contract other factories out in China or just different parts of Asia, because all of them didn't come from China. Some came from Taiwan and Korea. But they would they would contract other warehouses out, and they would make the shoes. He had to connect over there. He was getting the shoes as they made them. And, of course, Nike puts in an order. They know that something's going to release January 2020. I mean, they're making them maybe January 2019. So that's how it works. And, as they were making them, he was getting some, and he wouldn't be able to get a whole lot, but he had enough. And, I was buying them like that. So fast forward to 2012, and I was like, man, I really like getting shoes, get back in the shoes. I wonder if that guy still has a website. Well, of course his website is gone. He wasn't doing it anymore. And so I made it a mission to try to find another direct connect for these shoes. And let's just say that the replica market, oh my goodness, had gotten crazy. Because I hadn't known that shoes that started blowing up like that. I remember in 2010, I had a whole bunch of old like foam posits and stuff that I hadn't worn in a long time. And as far as I know, shoes costed a little more if you wanted to get them early, right? And I didn't know that there was a resale thing going on. I just didn't know. I knew shoes were a little harder to get, but the nice shoes were hard to get even in the 90s, like 99, early 2000s. So that wasn't a big deal to me. So I started selling some of my shoes on eBay because I wasn't wearing them, and there was one guy in particular that just always bought my shoes. It didn't even matter if they were real dog, but most of my shoes were in mint condition. And I mean, I'm selling these shoes for like $75, $85. Like, I was so shocked. I said, I'm gonna put these. There were some. They were red and black foamposite ones that came out in 2002, I think. I can't remember the actual name of them, of the color, but I bought them from Marshalls, okay, in 2002 or 2003, and I got them for $80. I had another pair of foam posits that I bought, some Battlegrounds, and I used to wear them with this Tim Duncan jersey in college, and I wore them maybe like 5 times, and I got those also for like $65 or something like that. So anyway, I sell those cherry red foam posits for $80 on on eBay. Okay, these things. No, I sold them not on eBay, but I sold them to the dude. I can't remember. I sold something else on eBay, and he asked if I had any other foam posits or any other shoes, and I told him, yeah. He asked for pictures, so I was just sending him pictures. He was like, "How much for those cherry rills?" I was like, "If you give me $80 for them," I mean, he rushed to give me the $80. These things were selling for like $500-$600 on eBay. I say all that to say that. So I didn't know the game was like that, and so replicas was a big deal at this point. So I started looking for other, try to get some Chinese connections. And man, they were sending me all types of fake shoes. And you could just tell by the quality. I used to work at Nordstrom. You gotta go through, to work there, you gotta go through all these processes of learning, what makes a good quality article of clothing, a shoe, a shirt, a tie. I used to also work at Up Against the Wall. The same thing, like we had to learn why Coogee costs what it costs and learn that it's handmade and thread Australian, all that. So I know how to, spot good quality shoes, whether they real or fake. I know how to spot good quality shoes. So I kept getting all these fakes. This went on for like a year. Finally, I found someone in passing. This was not like me trying to sell shoes. I just found someone that, we clicked, and turns out they had a connect. Okay, so I ordered a pair of shoes from them. And the shoes come, they're perfect. Same deal like high school again. And that was pretty much it. The end. So anyway, I started selling those online. I think I sold a couple on Craigslist. But I prefer to do it online though, because people were robbing people for those shoes unless they were willing to meet me at the bank. If they met me at the bank, I would meet them, and I enjoy doing that because I like people to actually get their hands on shoes, look at them, smell them, and see that they, authentic, stuff like that. So, after I was doing that while I was doing consulting, and I really was not feeling consulting anymore, as I mentioned in a previous video. And once I finally stopped that, the stuff just took off on eBay. Now, here's what you might have come here to figure out. How did you actually make the money on eBay? Well, the whole point of this video is to tell you that I got access to the shoes from just being kind to someone. All right, it fell in my lap. I had already stopped. I tried for like 6 months to try to find supply. I kept getting all these fake shoes, and I'm like, I'm not wasting any more money on this. Run into somebody, and they got the authentic hookup. And I was being kind with someone. Now, how I actually made the money on eBay. And this could be a combination of business acumen or luck, dumb luck, I don't know. But first of all, you want to look at your competitors. See what they're doing right, see what they're doing wrong. And I will go and I look at the titles that worked. Looked at the top salespeople, looked at the titles that worked, and I just copied the title. That was one thing. And then I also understand how search engine optimization works. So whatever your title is, you also want to have that in the first part of your description. And I will also take fantastic photos, very clear, detailed photos, and I will also have a tag, like a handwritten tag, piece of paper, and write my seller's name on it so people will know, hey, you could trust me. I actually have these shoes on hand. And then I will also offer a refund policy. But a lot of people, there's no refunds. I didn't do that. I let people return them because I understand buyer's remorse. A lot of scams involved in that. Then also, if you don't allow people to make returns, they'll just say something crazy anyway, like they're fake, or make lies so that they can return them. So you're better off just accepting the returns. So I would do that. And after like a month, eBay, you could find my eBay listings. If you search Jordan 11 or something like that on Google, my eBay listing to come up. And so I was killing it. And I think it really just came down to the pictures. I had the best pictures, and I also had handwritten tags. There's some sellers on there that had typed up tags. But the problem with that is I could Photoshop that, So you want to have something handwritten. You can Photoshop the handwritten thing too, but it's a little harder to do. And you know, that was pretty much it, y'all. It's not a whole lot to it. Good customer service, when people, you know, hit you up and ask questions, answer them. The beauty of eBay is when people send you some nonsense, you can ignore them. Amazon forces you to respond to everybody. So, you know, good customer service, great pictures, great detailed pictures using SLR. I didn't really even know how to use my camera for real like that, but I used a high-end camera and I had it on auto. I laugh at that now, but I had it on auto. But if you want to get some real good pictures, take pictures of the shoes outside, unless you have the proper lighting to, you know, and it has to be daylight bulbs, proper daylight bulbs, and they got to be these high wattage daylight bulbs. If you don't have that, just wait for a sunny day, go outside, take them out, take pictures of them outside, blur the background so the shoe stands out. Make sure you get some good details that, I'm talking about shoes, but make sure you get good details of the product. In the case of the shoes, I would show little things that prove that the shoes are authentic, like fake Jordan 11s, for example, didn't have carbon fiber on the bottom. It'd be some rubber or something like that. So I would show this is carbon fiber on it. You know, it just, you know, show pictures of the stitching detail of the Jumpman and other little details like that. And that's it. It really isn't rocket science. But I'll tell you one thing. I did too well, and Amazon also has this little thing where they call it a velocity limit, meaning you started off and you move way too fast. I can't rationalize it for them. I guess people who scam, that's usually an indicator of a scammer when they start off and they get a whole bunch of sales real fast. I guess most people don't do that because most people don't know how to do business and they're kind of getting their footing, so it usually starts off slow. But that's not me. I've been doing business for a long time. So, of course, you know, I got in there and it just went straight up and I hit their little velocity limit. They didn't believe. They were like, you know, you sold too fast. And, you know, so you don't want to do it. So you want to kind of only don't put up a whole lot of product if you know it's going to fly off the shelf. I don't recommend high-risk items. It's people that are on eBay that sell high-risk items. I don't know why they don't ever get in trouble. They get all types of bad feedback. Yeah, who knows? You know, one thing that I do know, though, those accounts are real old. And they're like legacy. I don't know. They have some relationship, some secret relationship with eBay or Amazon, and they don't get in trouble for anything that they do. And that's unfair, but that's the way it works. Ideally, what you want to do is, if you're having success on eBay or any of these platforms, I don't care, even if it's YouTube, you want to begin to transition your customer base and client base to your own personal website. Never rely on these companies, okay? Because I had a YouTube channel once, enjoying myself just talking about shoes. I could do that now. I could talk about shoes now. I'm not selling them, so it would be expensive for me to just keep buying shoes. I don't get them free or nothing like some YouTubers do. But I could do that now. But, you know, that got shut down from YouTube because, you know, Nike didn't like how I was exploiting that they send. Let me not say it now, but I said some stuff that they didn't like, and that was the end of my channel. So anyway, that's that. It's not a whole lot to it. I know I made the beginning long, but basically that's it. You want to have good pictures. You want to make sure your page title is good. Look at your competitors. See the people that are doing very well. See what they put as their page title and completely copy it. Just put the same thing. You know it's going to show up near theirs. It's a very similar description, but read through it and see like, oh, well, you know what? I can make this description a little bit better. Make it a little bit better. Have better pictures. And, I mean, you'll win. I mean, it's simple as that. If they have success, then you will too. And that's all. It's not rocket science, y'all. Alright, so anyway, that's that. This video is long now. See you next time.